You can hear me, right, Steve? Well, welcome everyone. So we're so pleased that for those of you that are able to join us live, and if you're watching the recording, we thank you for taking the time out to watch the recording of our webinar. We are Suzanne and Steve Clausen, and we are owners of CruiseOne in Show Low, Arizona. So who's ready to go down under? We're so excited about this cruise, and we really hope that you'll be able to join us on this cruise. Here's some pictures of Steve and I. We are avid travelers, and we use that personal experience to ensure that our clients have extraordinary vacations. For example, we just got back from the Douro River cruise on Avalon Waterways, and I learned so much about that itinerary and the company and in how they operate in that new environment in Portugal. And I just booked 2 clients that are going there in 2026, and I can give them so many insider tips because I had that experience just last week. And if you haven't done the Douro, it's pretty incredible. It was really a great trip. So I love my groups. My groups are one of my favorite things to do. We do a lot of wine groups, we do friends and family groups, and we do escorted groups, which is what this one is. We love sharing that travel experience with our clients, and we like being on board to make sure that every part of their experience is exceptional. So here's a quick summary of our agenda tonight. We're going to go over the itinerary for both the New Zealand cruise and the Australia cruise. Then I'm going to share with you a little bit about the Celebrity Edge cruise ship. We'll talk a little bit about the Celebrity Difference, what makes them special. And then at the end, I'll go over the pricing and availability that we have for that cruise. So let's get started. So I want to really quickly talk about the advantages of working with our agency. We have the training and expertise to guide you in your customer decisions. I always believe that there's a cruise line to fit every style and budget, and I'll let you in on the best kept secret in travel. Your price for a cruise will be the same or better by going through a travel agent than if you just book online with the cruise line direct. A lot of people don't realize that. So if you're booking directly, you're actually paying for something that you're not getting. And that's the services of a professional travel agency or professional travel advisor like me, because my commission is built into the price whether you use me or not. I am easily accessible by phone, text, email, nearly 24/7. I do have to sleep sometime, but I have been known to answer emails in the middle of the night. So here's a quick look at the 2 itineraries. We invite you to sail one or the other or both. But really, for the most comprehensive Australia-New Zealand experience, you'll want to do both. Either way, you'll get to see if you just do the New Zealand cruise, you'll get to see both Australia and New Zealand, because you could add a little bit of time in Sydney and the surrounding areas post-cruise if you just do the Auckland to Sydney cruise. So here's a quick look at that itinerary. It covers both the North and the South Islands, and then you do have a couple of sea days and some scenic sailing days on there. You're going to visit all the important cities and even sail through the beautiful New Zealand fjords. The very first night of the cruise, the ship actually overnights in Auckland. So you can either arrive a day early on the 18th, spend the night at a hotel, or if you wanted to chance it, you do have that extra night because the ship is staying overnight. You could arrive on embarkation day. One suggestion, there's lots of different tours that you can do on the 20th, on that first full day in Auckland. There's some things to go out and see the countryside outside of Auckland, or you could even go Waiheke Island by ferry and do the hop-on, hop-off wine tasting tour that they offer. After visiting Auckland, we're going to visit the beautiful Bay of Islands, and you can really either take advantage of seeing the natural beauty. There's some interesting rock formations and some caves that open to the sea around that area. Or you can visit the Maori Cultural Center at the Waitangi Treaty Grounds Museum. They have cultural shows and performances, a carving studio, and a guided tour of the grounds. So you can do either like a scenic day on the water in Bay of Islands or a cultural day learning about the Maori culture. So Taronga is the next stop, and it features a Maori village. So you could go do that again, having that cultural experience. There's an area called Hell's Gate, which is a geothermal feature. Or there's even such some beautiful beaches. So lots of different things that you could do in that port. We're going to visit Napier. Napier is near the famed Hawke's Bay agricultural area, which is known for its vineyards and its wineries. We're going to visit Picton. There's a variety of things to do. There's even a pearl farm in the area, or you could take a train or a tour through the Marlborough wine country. If you're into Lord of the Rings, then Wellington is your chance to visit Hobbit Town. Or you might just want to take in the larger city. There's a cable car / funicular that goes up to one of the viewpoints there. There's even like a wildlife preserve where you can see a lot of the endemic birds of New Zealand. And another day for you Lord of the Rings fans. You can go through some of the area that served as Middle Earth in the movies, or you can visit like some lamb and sheep farms. There's even more wine tasting opportunities in this area. So many different experiences offered in Christchurch. I can't wait to visit Dunedin, and that is because I actually went to Dunedin High School in Dunedin, Florida. And both cities celebrate their rich Scottish heritage. So there's things you can see, some of like the little mini castles, there's breweries, and there's even some beautiful scenic areas where you can go see wildlife in this area with things like seals and penguins. One of my favorite parts of cruising is the opportunity to do the scenic sailing days. So in one long day, we're going to have the opportunity to sail 3 of the different fjords in New Zealand. And these are some of the most beautiful areas of New Zealand. And they're really the best place to see them is from the deck of a cruise ship. So that's the itinerary for the first cruise. It ends in Sydney. And so you could either fly directly home from Sydney, or as I mentioned before, maybe spend a couple extra days in the surrounding areas, or you could spend an extended stay in Australia. And I could help put together a package where maybe you fly out to Ayers Rock, or you go up to Cairns and see the Great Barrier Reef. There's lots of things you can do if you take just that first cruise and then want to extend your time in Sydney. Or you could join us for that next cruise, which is going to be 9 days. It's Sydney round trip, and it covers a really extensive part of Australia. One of my favorite parts about departing from Sydney is the sail away. And you can see the picture behind me and this picture here are pictures of the Opera House, which is in the Harbour Bridge, all lit up at night. It's absolutely beautiful. So if you are only doing, say, the Australia cruise, or you're getting off in Sydney, some of the things that I would recommend that you do in the city of Sydney would be take a tour of the Opera House, maybe go see the Harbour Bridge. There's a historic district called the Rocks, which dates back to the times when it was penal colony. There's also Bondi Beach. Steve and I took a tour when we were there 5 years ago that was called The History of Sydney. And it included a tour of the town. And then we went out to the rugged cliffs that are near Bondi Beach. We walked along, there's like a walking path there. And then we stopped at Bondi Beach and got to see that. So it was a really, really nice tour. There's lots of things to do if you want to extend your stay in Sydney, either pre-cruise or post-cruise. So here's the highlights of that Australia cruise. It hits all the important cities in southern cities in Australia, and you even get to visit the island of Tasmania. So that's our first start is Hobart, Tasmania. Scenery, and of course you'll want maybe an opportunity to see one of those famed Tasmanian devils. Apparently they're not nearly as fierce as their name leads you to believe. Steve and I actually booked a tour just yesterday for Hobart, and it is this tour where you see that beautiful view. We're going to go take a tour that's going to take us around to all the different scenic viewing spots near Hobart. Kangaroo Island. I'm most excited about this because when I was there in 2018, which I guess was 6 years ago, I just went to Sydney for 3 days. And unless you go to a zoo or maybe like a wildlife preserve outside of Sydney, you don't see kangaroos. But Kangaroo Island offers a chance to see these unique animals in the wild. So really, I'm excited about that. Adelaide offers
You're
an
froze,
opportunity to
girl.
visit the famed Barossa wine town, but it also is, I'm frozen. Okay, it says my internet connection
You're
is
back now. You're
unstable.
back now.
Okay, I'm back now. Okay. All right. So what was the last thing I said before I froze? Was I on Adelaide?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, Adelaide, you can visit the Barossa region, or you can simply tour the town. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. Melbourne, it's another great opportunity to go out of town and visit wineries. And you can see there's even some tours that combine the chance to see wallabies, which are like little miniature kangaroos, with a wine tasting opportunity. Or if you want to enjoy the city, there's a scenic river cruise that you can take. There's a lot of different highlights of the city. So when the cruise ends, I've mentioned
So
this
we're still
before. I
on your
mentioned it.
Adelaide slide. Have you been changing?
I did change. Let me know when it's caught up. Is it not caught up yet?
No, we're on Adelaide.
Okay, let me,
Stop share and reshare.
yeah, let me do that. Stop share. Okay. Technical difficulties. Okay. Now are you on Sydney?
Yep.
Okay, thank you so much. So I mentioned this before, extend your stay. I am a full service travel agency, so I can help put together a post cruise package for you if you want to see a little bit more of Australia. Okay, so now we get to talk about the ship. And we're going to take an in-depth look at this ship because the Celebrity Edge is really amazing. It was named one of the world's greatest places when it was introduced by Time magazine, and it's really innovative in every aspect. Here's just some of the accolades that this ship has won. It is a Forbes recommended resort at sea, and it continues to win numerous awards in the industry as one of the top ships. Celebrity, of course, is known for its amazing dining options and exceptional service. They have menus created by Michelin-starred chefs and crew that's trained by the Ford's Travel Institute. So they really lead the way in food quality and service. The ship features 4 main dining rooms. They each have a little bit different theme. You can dine around if you want to do the flexible dining. Or you can choose to have the same table and same waiter every night. The menu that you get in each of the themed restaurants, the right side of the menu changes every night, but it's the same in all 4 venues. The left side of the menu is based on the theme of the restaurant, and it is different in each restaurant, but stays the same every night. And they also, if you ask for it, they have a menu that just has the 4 specialty menus for all 4 dining rooms. And you can order off the other ones, even if you were dining in a different restaurant. So if you want to have the same table and same waiter every night, you're not limited to ordering off the left side menu for that venue. You can ask for the special menu that has all 4. There are so many specialty dining venues on this ship. 2 of our favorites are Fine Cuts and the Rooftop Garden Grill. They both have excellent food. It's just a wonderful way to like splurge a little bit on yourself on shore or on board. It is an extra charge. Certainly don't have to pay for it, but if you want to have an extra special meal, it's a great opportunity. Special effects. The world-class theater has this amazing 180-degree screen that's all LED. They have wonderful singers and dancers. And this theater was a huge investment. Celebrity spent more money just on the theater for this ship than Royal Caribbean, their parent company, did on their first new build in the 1970s. So, I mean, obviously you're talking, 21st century dollars versus 1970s dollars, but it gives you an idea of the investment that they made to make sure that you're going to have a quality theater experience. Now, I do have a little video on the next slide, and I'm not sure it's going to play because I was having that bandwidth issue, but we will give it a go. So here we go. So this is the show we got to see when we were on the Edge in December of 22. This was actually the debut performance of the show called Feel the Funk. Gives you an idea what the shows in the main theater are like, but they also have a variety of entertainment in other places around the ship. They have party bands, jazz bands. They have this thing called the Eden Acoustic Experience, where they have people playing maybe a guitar and singing, or a cello, different instruments. And many times the artists will collaborate together. And so you get kind of original performances every time. And they also have these little mini production shows in Eden with acrobats and singers and dancers. It's quite interesting. There also is a very good time to be had on Celebrity in multiple venues in the evenings. There are singers, musicians, interactive theme party. They do something called silent disco, which is one of my favorite things. Everybody gets their own set of headphones, and there's 3 different songs they can choose from. And it's just fun to see. It's a fun time. There's a variety of bars, with both standard drinks and specialty drinks. Martini bar has martinis in every flavor. In Eden, they even have this drink. It's made with apple juice, and it's even served in this little glass, apple-shaped glass with a straw. It's really beautiful.
Forbidden.
Really beautiful. Yeah, it's called the Forbidden. The Edge is the first ocean-going ship to introduce the infinite veranda concept. And this is our room from that cruise in December of 22 on the Celebrity Edge. It gives you an idea of what that infinite veranda looks like. And I'm going to point over here real quick. This floor-to-ceiling, wall-to-wall window comes completely down, and that creates your veranda. The next slide has a little video where the president of Royal Caribbean talks about that infinite veranda.
We've replaced all of this structure with essentially nothing.
This engineering feat allowed for the creation of the new Edge staterooms with infinite veranda that are 23% larger than Celebrity's current veranda staterooms.
What I wanted to achieve here was to try and create lots of different experiences. I think in the Edge stateroom, when you walk in, you're going to know there's a difference. And for me, it was about coming up with a sort of light bulb moment of creating the studio so that you could have these kind of glass partition doors that opened where you could actually then have your terrace as part of your living space. I think we created something unique in the cruise industry.
Okay, so the infinite veranda cabins are available in several different classes of cabin. The standard balcony is an infinite veranda, the concierge class infinite veranda, and the aqua class rooms are all the infinite veranda concept. The nice thing I really like about those rooms is the larger bathrooms. I know this picture is kind of hard to see, but it is a pretty good sized bathroom for a cruise ship. We've been on luxury ships that were older luxury ships where the bathroom was much smaller. So very, very luxurious rooms on these Celebrity ships. And we like the extra desk space and the storage. Nicely appointed rooms. So if you go with a concierge class, which is the same room, but you get some extra amenities, you tend to be on higher floors, which are considered better locations, and you get more amenities, a few little little perks here and there along the way when you book a concierge class cabin. Aqua Class has even more extra perks and amenities. You get the small venue blue dining room. You get bottled water delivered to your room. But really the best perk is that blue dining room. We did that Aqua Class when we sailed on the Edge in December of 22. And that's a picture of our wait staff and our hostess from that cruise. They just did such a good job of pampering and taking care of us. And it's all open seating there, very personalized service. They're open for breakfast and dinner. And it really, to me, that is the big perk of booking Aqua Class. Other types of cabins that are available, they do have these cabins that are called porthole verandas. And you can see that here. This is a sliding glass door. You can step out onto the balcony. Most of the railing is glass, but you do have this metal surround. Those cabins are located either all the way front or all the way back on the ship. And they have that metal surround because the structure of the ship needed that for the maintaining the integrity of the ship. And for those of you that are really looking for a luxurious experience, Celebrity has the retreat class, which is their luxury suites. This is the starting luxury suite for the Celebrity Edge class. It's a sky suite. It does have a walkout balcony, and it includes the premium drink package and the premium Wi-Fi. Also includes a lot of other perks. You earn more points per day for your loyalty program. And of course, you have all that extra space in your room by being in a retreat cabin. You also get dining in Lumine, which is an exclusive dining room just for the folks that are booked in suites. So let's talk about our group rates. So our group rates are going to include the drinks and the Wi-Fi package. We always have refundable deposits, so that gives you some flexibility. If you book now and then before we get to final payment, you change your mind, you need to reschedule your cruise, cancel your cruise, whatever, you do get your full deposit back. And again, it includes the drinks and the Wi-Fi. And when you compare it to a similar rate with the drinks and the Wi-Fi, it does save you a lot of money. So you practically need a graduate degree to know how to book a Celebrity cruise. When I go onto my system to book Celebrity, there are about 20 different rate codes that come up. And this is just a summary of those rate codes. So the least expensive option they have is the no perk, non-refundable deposit rate. Then they have a drinks and Wi-Fi rate with a non-refundable deposit. And our group rate with a refundable deposit is competitive with that. They also have a no perk refundable deposit, a drinks and Wi-Fi refundable deposit. And then they get into all the minutiae with senior rates, state rates, military discounts, which can be combined. So if you're a military member, it often can be combined with the group rates or these other rates. So you get an additional discount. And then, of course, we have our group rates. And I put all this up here, not to confuse you, but to let you know that when you call me to book, I'm going to be able to sort through all this and find out which of these rate codes is the best for you in your situation, because some people don't drink. And so maybe that no perk non-refundable is the best rate code. Some people, they're on a cruise, they're on vacation, they're going to drink a little bit more than they would at home. So the one that includes the drinks and the Wi-Fi is the better rate. So I know this is an eye chart, but I wanted to show you what I have available in my inventory at group rates. And then I pulled an example and I'll point to this. So this is our price. So it's this rate right here with the $100 discount, because there's a $100 per person. So it ends up being a $200 per cabin savings that's going on right now. So when I break it down to per person, it gives us $100 off. That includes drinks, Wi-Fi, refundable deposit. This, on that same cruise, This is the no perk, non-refundable rate. And then just for comparison of how much money we're saving you on the all included, the drinks and Wi-Fi rate, with a non-refundable, we're lower than that. So if you want the drinks and Wi-Fi included, we really have the best deal. It's just $36 per person per day over this no perk, non-refundable rate to book at our group rate. I know it can be confusing, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you book whatever rate is the right one for you. And then we look at our Australia cruise. So this is the categories that I'm holding in my inventory here. And again, I did a comparison. Now on this one, you really have to think long and hard, because this particular sailing is not selling as well as the New Zealand cruise. So Celebrity has offered some really good rates on that no perk rate, because they figure they're going to make it up when you get on board, because you're going to have to buy Wi-Fi, you're going to have to buy drinks, all those kind of things. They're going to make it up when they get on board. So you've got to do the math on that. And then if you want the refundable deposit, our rate is definitely the way to go. It all around, it's just a better way to go. So that I will all work with you and consult with you. I want to make sure that we have the best rate for you, but I just wanted to kind of show you that those no perk rates are out there. And if that's what you would prefer, I'm happy to book those for you. I just don't want to somebody go, well, I just looked on the celebrity sites. Why is their rate so much lower? It's because they're no perk rates. So I'm happy to do a comparison and help you pick the one that's right for you. Something else we have for everyone is, if you are going to be starting your cruise in Auckland, which most of us are doing, we're doing the New Zealand and then Australia back to back. I've secured a group rate at the Hilton Auckland. This is a beautiful hotel right on the waterfront. You see the infinity pool right there, which is one of the things that it's famous for. Literally, you can walk from this hotel to the cruise ships. So as long as you have wheelie luggage, you won't even need a taxi the next day. So again, I'll talk to you again about working with you to get that best rate. But no matter what rate you book, you are going to get all of these perks by booking with me. You get the $200 onboard credit as long as you book by July 15th. You're going to get my concierge level service, where I'm going to help you with planning every aspect of your cruise. You're going to get my expert guidance on shore excursion planning. Again, that discounted pre-cruise hotel in Auckland. And you get my expert planning assistance to help you make sure that you get the best rate on your air. Celebrity has a wonderful Flights by Celebrity program, which is book now, pay later. But sometimes that your gateway city, something doesn't work quite right. I work with some consolidators that offer cruise fares. So again, you're getting a discounted airfare. And then I'll also take a look and go, you know what? The best rate that's out there right now, it's published fares. So you can go straight to the airline of your choice and book it there. So I'm going to help you sort through all that, make it really easy for you. And then we're going to be on board during the cruise to make sure that every aspect of your vacation exceeds your expectations. We're here to handle any bumps in the road or problems that you might have. And if I have to email somebody or call somebody at Celebrity back home to get something fixed, I know who to talk to and get it done. But usually Celebrity is really good about resolving things on board. So I can't imagine that I would have to do that, but I am there to do it if it needs to be done. So there's more savings. If you book both of them, you're going to get a savings of $100 per cabin on the New Zealand cruise and $50 per cabin on the Australia one. So again, additional savings if you book them back to back. Now, I would kind of want to let you know, well, Suzanne, do you only do Celebrity to Australia? No, we have lots of other group cruises, and we do a variety of cruises. So we have 2 escorted group cruises on the rivers in 2025. We've got Bordeaux and it's the lower Danube area, Budapest to Bucharest in November. And we're going to have a webinar on that Budapest to Bucharest cruise on the Alma Magna on July 12th. So if you're interested in learning more about that, let us know. We'll get you signed up for that webinar. We're also doing or hosting a 28-night round trip Seattle cruise to Alaska. You can see the pricing right there. That is our exclusive group rates. We also have some exclusive perks and amenities. And we are doing a webinar on this on Tuesday. So if you're interested in that one, let us know. We'll get you signed up for that webinar on Tuesday.
Holiday America only does this cruise once a year. It's 28 days, and they go places in Alaska that cruise lines don't normally go. So if you've been, you said, "Oh, I've done an Alaska cruise before." You haven't done one like this. This is so we're so looking forward to this. There's so many places we haven't been in Alaska yet.
Yeah, I've been to Alaska 6 times, and this is going to be, a lot of places that we have never been. Okay, so, and in 2026, we are offering you Antarctica in 2 different ways. So we have a traditional cruise that does just scenic sailing in Antarctica. We did this with groups in 2020 and 2023. A celebrity does a great job. It's a wonderful experience. And you just do scenic sailing in Antarctica, spend about 2 days. But we had so many people that went with us in 2020 and 2023 that said, next time I go, I want to land in Antarctica. So we are hosting an expedition cruise. Of course, the price point for the expedition cruise is quite a bit more than you would pay for a traditional cruise. And we are hosting a webinar on that on July 18th. But on the expedition cruise, you actually disembark the ship, take Zodiacs ashore, and you're walking around in Antarctica.
Yeah, it's a much smaller ship with only 100 passengers on it.
Yeah, very small ship. So, 2 different experiences, but if that continent is someplace you want to go, we've got 2 different opportunities for you to do it in 26. And this is going to be our next fun big group. We just did a wine group with this winery in April. We had 104 people in our group, and Eric was on board and did 4 wonderful wine tasting presentations. Everybody had such a good time. They said, when can we do it again? So Eric was available in 2026. We're doing an extended Caribbean with Ascension Cellars, which is a boutique Paso Robles winery. They bring their wine on board and host tasting events for us. So really unique experience. So additional groups. We've got a Liza Minnelli tribute cruise in December of this year. We've got a 10-night Southern Caribbean in April of next year. May, we've got Norwegian fjords, and all summer, next summer in Alaska. The shorter, more traditional cruises, we have got multiple sailings to Alaska. If you want to, excuse me, I'm going to cough. If you want to check out some of these groups, just visit our vacationsbysuzanne.com website and look for the banner that says Group Cruises, Exclusive Rates and Perks. If you don't find anything in all that works for you, we're a national account of and a preferred agency of all the major cruise lines, really. So we have access to discounted pricing and amenities that you wouldn't get if you're booking directly with the cruise lines. And we have, again, I'm going to repeat our special offer for this webinar. Our first 10 cabins booked from webinar attendees or people who watch the recording, again, get that extra $200 onboard credit for balcony and higher categories of cabin for the Australia New Zealand cruises. You got to book by, excuse me, July 10th. I should have brought some water in here because now I'm all parched. So again, we would love to have you on here with us recapping our presentation. Book by July 10th to get that extra onboard credit. And that is regardless of which rate code you book with. So you can book no perk, 2 perks, group rates, suites, whatever, you get that extra onboard credit. And beverages and Wi-Fi are going to be included with our group rates. Extra $150 savings if you book back to back. And again, if you book with our group rates, you have those risk-free refundable deposits up until 90 days before your departure when your final payment's due. And again, I'll say it again, group rates include beverages and Wi-Fi. So I'm going to open it up. Do we have any additional questions or comments? You can
you have
use
to unmute yourself if you want to ask a question.
Yeah, or you can use the chat box if you don't have a microphone. All right. Well, if you don't have any questions online, feel free to call me. I'm going to be available tomorrow all day. So I'd love to talk to you about this. And I'm sure that some people have questions and they're just maybe too shy to ask them. So I am happy to answer any questions you might have. Love to talk to you about this cruise, about Celebrity, get you details of where the cabins are located and what's available, all that kind of thing. So I'm happy to help you with all that. I'm going to go ahead and go to our closing slide. You know, we specialize in highly personalized vacation plannings. We want to make the cruise what is wonderful for you. Oh, what are the dates? Somebody asked me, what are the dates? Okay, so the New Zealand cruise is February 19th, and it goes through March 3rd, and this is 2025. And then the Australia cruise is March 3rd, and it's 9 days, so I think it ends the 12th. March 12th, ends the 12th, yeah. Okay, well, I want to thank you all for coming. We're going to go ahead and end the recording now, and then I'm going to stop sharing my screen after